Right, at this point, the schedule's just gone out the window. We missed another Wednesday, but here we are on a Saturday. It should be a Sunday, I really hope, and we're going to have, hopefully, the things we need to get back into schedule, but the schedule's not going very well at the moment. But this video is my team of the season prediction, my Premier League team of the season prediction. So I've gone off what last year was. I'm not sure if it's the same every year or not, but the last year was 15 team of the season cards for the Premier League and 3 3 moments, team of the season moments cards. So yeah, that's basically what we got. I'm not really sure what to do with moments. I just went with players who were in with a shout of getting in there, but I couldn't find space for them. I've definitely left out some very talented players, but I don't know. We're gonna find out how much I get moaned at. Let's get straight into this then. Starting off with the goalkeeper. It really was between 2 for me. I don't think anyone else really deserves it. I mean, Emiliano Martinez, a decent honourable mention shout, but for me it was between Alisson or Vicario. I went with Alisson, but Vicario definitely in with a shout. He's been very, very good this season for Tottenham and definitely could have been in this team. I don't think anyone else deserved it. It was one of those two. But Alisson's been fantastic, and as much as Keller has done a decent job since he's come into that Liverpool team, he's clearly been the missing piece, Alisson. They're missing him a lot, and their results are starting to go a bit wrong. 3-0 defeat last night to Atalanta. Yeah, it's not going great for them, but I mean, they're still top of the league, they're still doing really well, but Alisson is a huge miss. Moving on to the left back, I'm going to go with a Tottenham player now. I'm going with your doggy. I think he's been immense this season. Brilliant left back. Great signing in the summer for Tottenham. I always knew he was a brilliant player, and when they got him, a little bit frustrated. I'd love to go with a couple other players, but I don't really think anyone's been on the level of Udogie this season in that position. I mean, Robertson usually would be, but he's been injured all season. Zinchenko's not really been up to par to that standard this season, to be honest. He's been out the team in recent weeks for Kivia, so you can't really go with him. City have got Gavardio, Ake, Akanji all rotating in that position. They haven't really had a out-and-out left-back this season. I think Udogie's the only answer there. Moving on to the centre-backs now. I've gone with Van Dijk and Saliba. I think they're the obvious options. They've been the best 2 defenders in the league, in my opinion, by quite some stretch. Yeah, I don't really think anyone else can get in over them. They both deserve to be in team of the season, to be honest. I mean, Diaz is a shout. I've not put him in the team of the season moments. He's not going to be in the team of the season for me this year. I just think Van Dijk and Saliba have been a different level to him this year. I have got a defender in team of the season moments, but I feel he deserves it a bit more than Diaz. Maybe he's not been a better defender, but I think he's been better. I've actually got 2 in there, but then it's a slash at the moment. I'm trying to figure out which of the 2 deserves it. I'm going to probably conclude that at the end. But yeah. So far we've got Alisson, Udogie, Van Dijk and Saliba, and we get straight onto right back. I don't know what to do with right back. Between 2, honourable mention to Ben White. He's not going to be there. I was split between him and Kyle Walker, but I'm going to go with Kyle Walker. I mean, Ben White's not been on the level of Kyle Walker this season, but Ben White's had an absolutely fantastic season. His best ever season as an Arsenal player. Been absolutely incredible, and I think if it wasn't for Kyle Walker, he would be in this team. He's definitely been the second best English right back this season. I mean, Trent, he was good at times this season, but I'm not really sure whether he's been on the level of Ben White, and he's been injured a lot. For the same reason as that, I don't actually have Trent in this team alongside Kevin De Bruyne. It's those sort of players who've been injured who you just can't have in the team. So, yeah, that is the back line. Alisson, Udogie, Van Dijk, Saliba and Walker. And now we can move up into my midfielders. I've actually gone with 4 midfielders. 3 will be starting and 1 would be practically the bench option. I'm not going to tell you who's on the bench because there's not a bench option. You don't have to have a bench in your team this season. These are just the 4 midfielders I've gone in the 15. The first two, very, very obvious, Rice and Rodri, 100% have to be in there. The 2 defensive midfielders who have dominated the league this season, been the best 2, I'm not even going to say defensive, the best 2 midfielders in the league this season. Rock solid for their team, for City and Arsenal. 100% have to be in the team. No debate about that. If either of those aren't in the team this season, it's a bit of a disgrace, to be honest. But it is a bit more controversial as you go forward, because I've gone with 2 attacking midfielders. Although one of them you could argue is a winger. I don't really know. So I was trying to think, attacking midfielders, who's been good this season? James Maddison's been good. He spent the whole season injured. He didn't. He spent a fair portion of it injured. He's not really been the same player since he's come back from it, because he's still trying to get up to speed, recovering from that injury. I wouldn't say he's fully fit yet. Still coming back. I couldn't have him in team this season, to be honest. I was thinking Kevin De Bruyne. He's been injured even more. No way does he get in there. I mean, his stats are fantastic since he's returned from injury, but he's not. He doesn't deserve to be in there, in my opinion. Which takes me to a couple of other players. Another one I thought about actually was Bruno Fernandes, but I thought about it, then I stopped thinking about it, to be honest. I also thought about Kai Havertz, but I mean, he's not been doing it for long enough this season. I don't think he deserves to be in team this season, unless he gets given a moments card, which I don't really see. So I narrowed it down to 2. One you could argue doesn't deserve it in Martin Odegaard, but I felt with the attacking midfield options, he kind of does deserve it. And he's been incredible this season. He's been probably, I wouldn't say Arsenal's best player, but he's definitely been up there. And definitely should be a contender for team this season, in my opinion. Been incredible all year, especially in the second half of the season. And 100%, in my opinion, deserves to be in the team. I've also gone with Cole Palmer as the other one. There's no way you can ignore him. He's been absolutely fantastic. The only good player at Chelsea this season, and he's definitely done his job. And for me, 100% has got to be in the team. Moving on now to the wings. Actually, before we go on to the attack, let's just run through the team so far. So we've got Alisson, Udogie, Van Dijk, Saliba, Walker, Rodri, Rice, Odegaard, and Cole Palmer. So that is, I believe, let's just quickly count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've done something a bit wrong here, but that's alright. In fact, this works brilliantly. This works perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do is, I've miscounted my numbers. I'm going to throw another defender in there. I'm going to throw Gabriel into the defence. You could say that's Arsenal bias, but he was on the slash of the 2 defenders, so this works perfectly fine in my opinion. So we've actually got Alisson, Udogie, Van Dijk, Saliba, Gabriel, Walker, Rodri, Rice, Odegaard, and Cole Palmer. So yeah. After that, we've then got an attack. Heung-min Son, 100% has to be in there. There's no debate about that. He's been absolutely incredible for Tottenham. 100% has to be in the team. On the other side of the wings, I've gone with Bukayo Saka and Mohamed Salah. 100% those 2 have to be in there. Been absolutely incredible, both of them, and have to be in the team. Moving on to the 2 strikers. I don't think there's a debate about these either. In fact, the more debatable one is Erling Haaland being there, but he still 100% has to be there. He's still been incredible this season, just had to deal with an injury and hasn't been scoring the goals as much since he returned from that injury, but he's still smashing a lot of goals in. So either way, been very, very good. And the other one's Ollie Watkins, who obviously has to be in this team, being absolutely incredible for Aston Villa, one of the main reasons why they are in a battle for Champions League football for next season, which is not what a lot of people expected. Well, I predicted they'd come 6th, so actually I might not have. I can't remember what I predicted, but yeah. So that is the team of the season done. Alisson, Udogie, Van Dijk, Saliba, Gabriel, Walker, Rodri, Rice, Erdegaard, Palmer, Son, Haaland, Watkins, Salah, Saka. Now let's move on to moments. Hold on. Before we go on to moments, I've just realised I've made a pretty gigantic mistake. Missing out one of the best players in the league this season. So, yes, we're going to have to make a little change. Gabriel, you're out the team, mate. As much as I love him and I think he should be in Team of the Season, he's not going to be in Team of the Season, I'm afraid. He's going to be dropped for Phil Foden, who I've somehow managed to forget exists. Phil Foden 100% has to be in this team. So, the team is now Alisson, Udogie, Van Dijk, Saliba, Walker, Rodri, Rice, Erdegaard, Palmer, Son, Foden, Haaland, Watkins, Salah and Saka. There you go. Now we can get onto these 3 moments. The first one, I said we need another goalkeeper. Vicario is going in that position. I mentioned him before, incredible for Tottenham. I wasn't sure if I was going to throw him in, but I've now come to that conclusion that he should be in this team of the season, in my opinion. So yeah, moving on from that, we now need to go to the second one. I've actually gone with another Tottenham player who I think has been incredible this season, not Ruben Diaz, who I mentioned would be the other centre-back option. I think this player's been on par, if not maybe a little bit better than him, and is certainly doing the job in a worse team. I've gone with Mickey van der Ven from Tottenham, as I said. Been a very, very good player this season. I think deserves to be in the team of this season as well. I think it's very hard to look past him. So yeah, and the final team of the season moment I've done is Jared Bowen, who I think maybe not quite done enough to be in team of the season, but if there's an opportunity to get in team of the season moments, he should be one of the players there. So yeah, that leaves with the final team, and that also leaves us with the clubs these players play for, which I'm going to finish off with. So we've got 1 West Ham player, 1 Villa player, 1 Chelsea player, 3 Liverpool players, 4 Tottenham players, 4 City players, and 4 Arsenal players. So, apologies for this video being a bit all over the place. I kind of managed to forget Phil Foden existed. I managed to forget we needed 15 players and I only put 14. I don't know what I'm on about, but yeah. That's going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.